Sedivera. So, I think this is probably like a No Man's Sky kind of thing. Like, you're not really meant to have... Oh, I meant to be the scorpion.
Now then, when you want to get control of something that wiggles, it's pretty difficult, isn't it? You try and pick up a fish in your hands, and the fish is wiggly and it slips out. What do you do to get hold of the fish? You use a net. And so the net is the basic thing we have for getting hold of the wiggly world. A net is something regular. And I can number the holes in a net. So many holes up, so many holes across. And if I can number these holes, I can count exactly where each wiggle is in terms of a hole in that net. But in order to do that, I've got to break up the wiggle into bits. And I've got to call this a specific bit, and this the next bit of the wiggle, and this the next bit, and this the next bit of the wiggle. And so these bits are things which I mark out in order to talk about the wiggle, in order to measure it, and therefore in order to control it. But in nature, in fact, in the physical world, the wiggle isn't bitted. So the world doesn't come thing. You and I are all as much continuous with the physical universe as a wave is continuous with the ocean. The ocean waves, and the universe peoples. And as the wave, I wave at you and say, you! The world is waving at me with you. And saying, hi, I'm here.
We're making so much rhinovirus, or whatever it is.
Being based on a myth that we are made, that we are parts, that we are things, our consciousness has been influenced so that each one of us does not feel that. We feel we have been hypnotized, literally hypnotized, by social convention into feeling and sensing that we exist only inside our skins. That we are not the original bang, but just something out on the end of it. And therefore we are scared stiff. Because my wave is going to disappear. And I'm going to die. And that would be awful.
The heck am I now? Sand grain. I suppose that is what a sand grain looks like, right? This is a dust mite? Soil mite? Sure. Gross. Let's go up. Oh, look at you guys. Look at you guys with your... Oh, whoops. No, I wanted to go up. You're not the boss of me, other ants. Black ant. So it's do I like this or not? I think I'm more confused than anything. Dead grass. The sun brings back memories of when it was sunny 5 minutes ago. I don't know if you saw it, but it was spectacular. Hmm. Oh, there's a... I'm like, what is that in the distance? It's an upside down thing. Animal. I need something bigger? Maybe a coconut tree. I think that's the thing that I wasn't getting at first, is you need to be one of the biggest things of that size category before you can... Yeah, see, now it's giving me the... Baobab? Sure. Now it gives me the option to ascend. Oh, but it goes right into the planet. There's no continents. Oh, are we gonna make a whole... Let's go over to that ringed planet and join with it and dance and become a whole bunch of planets. Right? Right? Or is that not the same type of planet? Of course it's not. Oh well. This is the ringed rock planet. That's what it sounds like. Alright, let's go back onto the Earth-like planet. That one was more fun. Come on. I can't? Ugh. Oh, I can go to the sun. How about that? How about that? You are sun. Oh, I can go up too. What sort of madness? What sort of madness? You are irregular galaxy. I sure am.
You are a fluke. You are a separate event. And you run from the maternity ward to the crematorium, and that's it, baby. Now, why does anybody think that way? There's no reason to, because it isn't even scientific. It's just a myth. And it's invented by people who wanted to feel a certain way. They want to play a certain game. Camus said there is only really one serious philosophical question, which is whether or not to commit suicide. Should you or not commit suicide? This is a good question. Why go on?
This is a good question.
And you only go on if the game is worth the candle. Now, the universe has been going on for an incredible long time. And so, really, a satisfactory theory of the universe has to be one that's worth betting on. That's seems to me absolutely elementary common sense. If you make a theory of the universe which isn't worth betting on, why bother? Just commit suicide. But if you want to go on playing the game, you've got to have an optimal theory for playing the game.
I can go up higher. Oh my gosh, what is it? I'm everything. Maybe. What am I? You are feedback sphere. Am I? What exactly do you mean by feedback sphere? If I were to look under things. Things that have only one dimension. A recursive sphere. Well, that's a thing. It's one of 6 things. You are tetracloud. Alright. Everything, nothing, everything, nothing, everything, nothing, everything, nothing. You don't say. Well, let's descend into the tetracloud. Ah, it's just stars. Whatever. Super star cluster. Oh, lenticular galaxy. Alright. And you are? Elliptical galaxy. So I always wanted to be one of those. We're going in. Asteroid. Oh, an unknown thing. Rock planet. And on the rock planet is rocks. Oh, okay. I am Birch. What is this? More gameplay? Long before birches were around, far back through time, all trees were the same thing. Okay. A something that spread into every tree everywhere. A something all trees still share here and now. You may find you aren't just birch, but every tree in existence, an expression of this great pattern known as trees. Everything secretly knows this, and you know it too. Oh, things of the same category. See? Okay, I don't know how I'm supposed to hold Q while doing this. This may seem a bit aimless, maybe even pointless, because that's exactly what it is. There's no point to anything here. I've been hanging around this exact spot for 30-odd years and never found one. So good luck to you. At least you seem to be able to get around a bit faster than me. Now, if you don't mind, I need to get back to watching the rain. I see. Okay. So I can be many types of trees. Even these ones. I can join them too. Carpentaria palm. Now, if we were to dance... Are we dancing? If we were to dance, am I going to make something entirely different? Is that what happens? Do we crossbreed a tree? Maybe not.
If there is any such thing at all as intelligence and love and beauty, well, you found it in other people. In other words, it exists in us as human beings. And as I said, if it is there in us, it is symptomatic of the scheme of things. We are as symptomatic of the scheme of things as the apples are symptomatic of the apple tree or the rose of the rose bush. The earth is not a big rock infested with living organisms any more than your skeleton is bones infested with cells. The earth is geological, yes, but this geological entity grows people. And our existence on the Earth is a symptom of the solar system and its balances, as much as the solar system in turn is a symptom of our galaxy. And our galaxy in its turn is a symptom of the whole company of galaxies. Goodness only knows what that's it.
Or marmots. Ha, okay, so it picks a random one. I guess. So all of these audio logs are kind of going on and on about the whole, like, there isn't really a point. Like, don't. Well, it's a lot of things, actually. It's more than just saying that there isn't a point. Although I feel like I've kind of exhausted everything that I want to do with the game. Like, I'm really not going to go around and... It seems like the completionist thing is almost like pointless. Like, that's not the point of the game. And it keeps doing that. It wants to go on without me. I kind of want to go up to nth dimensional space again. That was pretty cool. My goodness, what am I now? Convex stellated polyhedron. If you insist. Part of a 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 part. This looks super weird. You are sphere. Now I am two spheres. We're gonna dance. We're gonna have a dance off. Caused another conceptual sphere to exist. It's neat as an idea. I don't know if it's much of a game though, and I don't know that it's much of a game that I want to like continue playing. You are plank length. Sure I am. Like it's neat, and I'll probably maybe jump into it some other time to play on my own, but I've pretty much like I get the idea, the whole The whole thing that he was saying with like you are the Big Bang, you are the whole universe. Any idea that all of this stuff that's in the world is all separate, that's not true. And that's what the game's trying to illustrate by letting you do all these things. That's cool. But I think that's gonna do it. I think, yeah, that is weird. Like, I guess they're just trying to go up one conceptual level. I never did see if there was if you could go lower than bacteria, right? We were blooping around. In fact, let's do that before we stop. Let's descend into plank length. And then let's descend into wherever this is. Now we're in the sun. I'll hop down onto... I have to move around in order to attune to this. Okay, ice planet. Alright, I appear to be drift ice. Just a whole bunch of ice continents around. I am Elodie. Oh, it could be a fish. Blue whale. School of salmon. But is there anything smaller? Anything around here smaller than a school of salmon? Lagarosiphon? Sure. Sea urchin, but we can go smaller.
When, as a scientist, you describe the behavior of a living organism, you try to say what a person does. It's the only way in which you can describe what a person is. Describe what they do. Then you find out that in making this description, you cannot confine yourself to what happens inside the skin. In other words, you can't talk about a person walking unless you start describing the floor. Because when I walk, I don't just dangle my legs in empty space. I move in relationship to a room. And so in order to describe what I'm doing when I'm walking, I have to describe the room. I have to describe the territory. So in describing my talking at the moment, I can't describe this just as a thing in itself, because I'm talking to you. And so what I'm doing at the moment is not completely described unless your being here is described also. So if that is necessary, if in other words, in order to describe my
We're going
behavior,
deeper.
I have to describe your behavior and the behavior of the environment, it means that we've really got one system of behavior. That what I am involves what you are. I don't know who I am unless I know who you are. And you don't know who you are unless you know who I am. In other words, we're not separate. We define each other. We're all backs and fronts to each other. We and our environment, and all of us and each other, are interdependent systems. We know who we are in terms of other people. we all lock together. And this is, again and again, the serious scientific description of how things happen. And any good scientist knows that what you call the external world is as much you as your own body.
Okay, I am now a regular, what? Regular nested structure? And now what? Irregular nested structure. Nice. What else can I be? Regular polyhedron. Even lower? Oh. Oh. It loops back around. Apparently. As you experience all of the universe's things, each thing also experiences you. Things leave their mark on you as you leave your mark on things. And somewhere inside you is an impression of everything you've ever been. A great memory of things you can revisit any time and feel what it's like to be them again. You are always free to transform yourself into anything. Ah. Hey now, don't know if this was okay to do. We are a huge ladybug. We're going to continue playing God, and, what was the transform menu? F, H, transform E. Alright, we are now 2 cosmic ladybugs. This is a mistake. This is why you don't do this. This is what it looks like when science goes too far. Well, I think on that note, we're going to play some Final Fantasy. This has been an interesting thought experiment. I don't know that it's something I would really recommend. I get what they were going for, but it seems more like, you know, it's a very, like, it's the sandbox game of all sandbox games. It's absolutely everything exists and happens. It's something that you could have fun exploring for a while. But it also does seem just a little bit too aimless for me. Too aimless for me to stream, for sure. But we at least got to have some fun with it. Alright, so let's switch games. You are a ladybug. I sure am.